Hi friends, welcome back to math class. This is our last part of topic 10. It's 10-8. We are skipping 10-7 and we are skipping 10-9. We don't need them. 10-8, now we're comparing fractions, and putting them in order, but we're comparing them sometimes with two fractions together and sometimes with three where they want you to put them in order, just like in the video. So I'm just going to show you a quick trick with two fractions, and it's called the butterfly method. Okay, so if I were comparing, let's say, the fraction 2/4 and the fraction 4/6, I want to know which one's bigger. Okay, butterfly means that we're going to give it some wings and some antennas. So what you're going to do is you're going to circle that group. I know it's right across. And then we're going to turn it into a butterfly by doing that. And we know our butterflies, because we researched them, have antennas. And I'll show you why we did that. Because when you can compare two fractions like this that don't have the same denominator and they don't have the same numerator, okay, different denominators, different numerators, you can cross multiply, they call it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 times 6, because it's in the same butterfly circle that we did, is 12. And 4 times 4 is 16. So you actually just take the opposites here and this cross over here. That's why they call it cross multiplication, because you go across. But you make it look like a butterfly so it's easy to remember what you're multiplying. And then you put the answers up at the top. So this answer goes here and this answer goes here. So I know now that this number is 12 and this number is 16, so this number is the smaller number. So 2/4 is less than 4/6. And I'll show you that on the fraction strips that we've been using. So you can do the same thing here, just like you've been doing, that 2/4 right here is less than 4/6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And look at it stops here. So this is where the 2/4 was. This is where the 4/6 was. So you can still see that it's smaller. Okay, it's just one simple little way to do that. I'll show you again because it does get a little tricky sometimes. You know how that goes. All right, so I'm going to compare 2/4 and 3/6 this time. Okay, so 2/4 and 3/6. So I'm going to put my diagonal butterfly wing and my other diagonal butterfly wing, and I'm going to give it my antennas. Okay, I did this one already. 2 times 6 is 12. I hope you're saying it with me and inside your head. And this is 4 times 3. What is 4 times 3? 12. They are the same number, which means they are equivalent fractions, which we've been practicing, which means 2/4 is equal to 3/6. Still, different denominators, different numerators, but again, when you compare the fractions together, you can try this. It's kind of fun. I've always really liked it. So if you look here again, here's 2/4, which is what is half of 4, 2. And then 3/6, 1, 2, 3, what is half of 3, or half of 6, which is 3. So, and they're both half. So they're both equivalent fractions. Okay, so that's that part. That was just a quick little tidbit I wanted to show you. Now, to get into 10-8, you are going to have to compare two fractions together, and you're also going to have to order fractions. So if I'm going to order fractions, we want to know which one goes first. When they say least to greatest, we've ordered numbers before. Least to greatest, greatest to least. You have to pay attention to what they're asking you. So I'm going to do I'm going to do 2 6 5 eighths and 1/4. Okay, and I'm going to compare these fractions to say which one is the smallest, which one's the next one up, and which one's the greatest or the largest fraction. Okay, now one way to do it is to pay attention to your fraction strips, which I absolutely would do because this is the easiest way. Okay, so here's 1/4. Here is 2 6. So already I should see that 1/4 is less than 2 6. But now I got to look at 5 eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's 5 eighths, which is past the 2 6 and it's past the 1/4. So how does it go in order? Well, in order to see it, remember you want to compare it to the whole fraction. And remember, it's got to be all out of see. One, two, three, four, 5. Just got to make sure I have enough spaces here. Okay, and this is the eighths. And it's a little bit easier to look at like that. Well, I just copied my fraction table and did it like that. So which one would go first? Obviously, if you look, 1/4 is the shortest. Then it would go 2 6. And then it would go 5 eighths. Okay, so you're going to have some practice. You're going to compare fractions, which one's greatest or least or greatest, less than or more than, and then you're going to compare fractions in a strip. Now, this is hard because they all have different denominators and they all have different numerators. But if you use your fraction strips, you'll be fine. So let me know if you're struggling or need some help. Please reach out and we can do a small group session if you need to. Okay, that's all there is to it. And then we are done with fractions. We're going to do some extra fraction practice on Friday just to remember equivalent fractions and just do a couple different things with them on Friday. And then on Monday, we're going to start our new unit. Okay? All right. Bye, friends.